Okay, so yesterday we learned how to write the equation of a line given 2 points, but we used our slope-intercept formula. Well, there is a third formula for a linear equation we haven't done yet. So let's go review. You've learned slope-intercept form. You've learned standard form. Well, the third form is something called point-slope formula. This allows you to do everything we did yesterday in a different manner. Some find this method easier than others, but you need to know the formula. So we use this to write the equation of a line when I have a point and I have a slope. This is the quickest way. If you already have your slope, this is what you do. So your formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The y1 and the x1, that's the ordered pair that you're given. The y and the x, that's the y and the x in your formula. Let's go see how we do this. So look at these instructions. Write the equation of a line using point slope. Watch how straightforward this is. Well, here's my formula, right? I know that my slope is 2 and my point is 4, 1. So I go replace all of that. I replace m with 2, x1 with 4, and y1 with 1. But notice it says y minus 1. That's because that is the formula, ladies and gentlemen. So it's y minus the y value, okay? I go through then and solve for y. So I'm going to distribute my 2 to get y minus 1 equals 2x minus 8. I add 1 to both sides. Y equals 2x minus 7. Your equation is done. Okay? Let's go try this again. This time, our slope happens to be a fraction, but that doesn't change the process. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We want to see you write this equation every single time. That is going to be a question. If you don't write the formula every time, you're going to get points taken off. Because now all I have to do is replace m with 1/2 and x and y with 2 and 4. Okay, then I'm going to distribute and solve for y. So y minus 4 equals 1/2 x minus 1. I'm going to add 4 to both sides to get y equals 1/2 x plus 3. If all you're doing is plugging in and you can plug in correctly, then solve for y, you've got your equation right there for you. So let's go look here. I want to go through this with you because it looks a little different in that I've got a negative now. So I still write my equation, or my formula, I should say. I'm going to replace m with 2/3, x1 with -6, and y1 with 0. Okay, but look what happens. My x1 is a negative, so I do need to put it in parentheses. It's best to rewrite it, ladies and gentlemen, before you do anything. Now you distribute. I have y minus 0. What is y minus 0 or anything minus 0? That thing. So after you've distributed, you're done. That is your answer. So now we want you to finish 4 through 6 on your own. But remember, we're going to look for the slope point formula. Okay. Does this look familiar? Well, if you watched last night's video, it should. Because we're going to write a linear equation given 2 points. But this time, after I find my slope, I'm going to use my point slope formula. I'm going to pick either ordered pair, plug it in with the slope, and get my equation. Let's go look. Okay. Remember, this is what we did yesterday. We found our slope, and then we used y equals mx plus b. So take a look at those ordered pairs. We're going to go use the same exact ones this time. So first step doesn't change. I still need a slope. I do my change in y over my change in x. And look, I magically still get -2. So yes, did I go through this one really fast? Of course, but please write this down. Make sure you have this in your notes. Now the difference is, I'm going to use the point slope formula. And then I use the slope that I just found in either point. Remember me, I like to use the smaller points. So we write my formula, we plug in our slope and our point. So when I do this, my y1 is negative, so I need to put it in parentheses. Okay. Then I'm going to rewrite it. Notice, minus a negative becomes a plus, and I already distributed my -2. I can do that all in one step. Now I subtract 1 from both sides. Ladies and gentlemen, I get y equals -2x plus 1. That's the equation of my line. Put these side by side. While the steps are different, it resulted in the same equation. It doesn't matter with which method you choose. But whatever method you choose, I suggest pick it and stick with it so that you can perfect it. So let's try this one. What do I first need to find? I need to find my slope. It's going to be the change in my y's over the change in my x's. I rewrite that, and I end up with 3/9. But I can simplify that. Slope must always be simplified to 1/3. So now I'm going to use a point. Either point, ladies and gentlemen, it does not matter because both points are on that line. Both of these points are solutions to the equation. So it doesn't matter which one you pick. So I'm going to write my formula. Remember, replace your slope. I always go with the smaller values, or the more manageable numbers, I should say. I'm going to rewrite it. Minus a negative becomes a plus, and I distribute my 1/3. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, so that y equals 1/3 x minus 5. There's no other step. Once you've done that, that's the equation. You don't have to go back and plug things in. So your job now is to solve these 4 using the point slope method. Even if you like the other method, tonight's practice is point slope. So write the formula, plug it in. We're going to be looking that 3 through 6 use the point slope. Go back through, rewind, mirror what we did in the examples so that you can do that on your own.